Well, blessings, everybody. This is Dale. Yes, it is me. It is me. Welcome to the Word Podcast. Yeah, I got a bit of this basso profundo sound going on in my voice today. It's the end of the year at the time of this recording. It's December the 31st, 2024. And I was just sort of thinking about that. It's been in fairly recent times, though not really. It was many, many years ago. But I tell you what, some 50 years ago, okay, we'll say 40 years ago, 40, 45 years ago, when I was in school and all that kind of stuff, at the end of the fall semester, I used to always get sick. And I did not realize until I was basically at the end of all that, that the biggest part of that was just because of the demand of what was going on. It was very, very busy time. Literally going like 18 hours a day, that kind of stuff. Big Christmas choral productions and all that kind of stuff. And it would be like 2 or 3 days after I got done with everything that I would get sick. And I mean really sick. And be out. There was one time period that I was down for 2 weeks. Lily was at my girlfriend's house for 2 weeks. She and her mom took care of me for 2 weeks. I was just so laid out. But it hit me, toward the end of that, then much later, how to handle it, what was going on. And so I've actually shared this through the years with several folks. And I want to give you the example of my favorite one. This was probably, how long ago? Maybe 5 years ago now, 5 or 6 years ago. And that a dear, dear friend of ours who sings in the choir, we were talking one day, and I was just sharing this with the choir. And she says, that always happens to me. She's a great soprano. She sings solo. She said, I always get sick. And I said, well, let's do what I started doing. I could say, Lord, protect me, watch over me, keep me well, keep me strong in the midst of this. And we prayed that with the choir and with her, just spoke it like that, a little 30-second thing, And that Christmas time, she didn't get sick. The next year, she didn't get sick. And she will testify to this day that God's protecting her and watching over her. And so that's sort of how I try to handle these things. Of course, the enemy comes along and says, well, obviously you didn't pray enough or you wouldn't have got sick. I don't necessarily feel real bad. It's just my voice is sort of worn down. And perhaps that's true. Maybe I didn't say, Lord, protect me enough in the midst of it. Maybe it is that I'm just tired. I don't know. But either way, anyway, I'm not going to say much more today. What I want to do is I want to encourage you to seek the Lord in the midst of all these things and say, Lord, keep me strong. Keep us well. Okay? Don't immediately go to what man says and what man does, but believe what the Lord says. And then I want to read the next stanza. We're up to a new stanza in Psalm 119. And it begins with verse 145. And you're going to hear the psalmist say this, like the first 4 or 5 verses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times at least in these first 4 verses, he says, I. Excuse me. So let me just read it. And then we'll touch base maybe tomorrow with it and get more detail. Psalm 119, verse 145, begins with the next letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Koph, is that how you say it? Qoph. And the psalmist says this, I cried with all my heart. Answer me, O Lord. I will observe your statutes. I cried to you, save me, and I shall keep your testimonies. I rise before dawn and cry for help. I wait for your word. My eyes anticipate the night watches, that I may meditate on your word. Hear my voice according to your loving kindness. Revive me, O Lord, according to your ordinances. Verse 150, those who follow after wickedness draw near. They are far from your law. You are near, O Lord, and all your commandments are truth. Of old I have known from your testimonies that you have founded them forever. So you see what's going on. The psalmist is crying out, he's crying out, he's crying out. There's a problem right here. But he's resting upon the testimonies, the word, the commandments, the law, and the ordinances, the statutes of the Lord. So we'll look at this more tomorrow. Maybe my voice will be a little stronger. Meanwhile, hey, thank you for being patient, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.